Okay, this is Jimmy Jive, and you're listening to Motor City Rock Talk. Today, my guest is a singer, a guitarist that's played in several bands in the Detroit area for a number of years. One of them being Tension Splash. Another one he played in was the Viet Nam Prom with my director and producer, Rob Miller. Today, my guest is Gray Motsinger. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing good. Doing real good. All right, tell me a little bit about your background and where you're from and kind of how you got into music.
Well, I was a Michigan-born kid, out of Detroit area. Lived everywhere between Detroit to North Carolina and back to Detroit. Primarily settled in Ann Arbor sometime around the 90s. Started up the band scene there in the just prior to the grunge scene kicking off. It's more like the alternative metal scene was going on. And I was in a band called Lunacy at the time. We was a 5-piece outfit playing some pretty aggressive metal style music, but with an alternative twist to it. And then that band broke down into a 3-piece band called No Motor Skills. And through No Motor Skills is kind of how I met Robert Miller. He was doing shows. We were doing shows together at the old Studio Lounge there. He had Bent Lucy going, which was an incredible band.
Right, yeah.
But we was doing shows together. And then that band fell apart. And before you know it, I'm in this band, Tension Splash, with 2 brothers and a bass playing guy by the name of Mike Birch, who used to be a guitar cell and tech over at the old Allen Alley's Music in Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I grew up my whole life in a family based around music, old Southern gospel music, bluegrass music. Grandpa, a couple uncles who picked aunts who played pianos and stuff like such. So music was always around me in my, my blood and in my veins,
Okay. Tell me a little bit about Tension Splash. I listened to the EP and of course the full-length CD that you have on Spotify. And it's very interesting. I was telling Rob, it kind of created dressy tension, kind of anxiety. How would you describe the music for that band?
Well, it's kind of like that. It was an interesting time. The 2 brothers, Nick and Sean Field, they've both been previously in a band up in Ann Arbor, a band called Bashfield. And then Mike Birch, the bass player, he's been in a band called Child Time with Andy Padlin. All the whole scene was like a whole little music scene here in Ann Arbor. So, I was playing more of aggressive, I would say, Ann Arbor, garage punk style, metal time with No Motor Skills. So when that band kind of diffused, I was a little upset by it. I was still friends with everybody, and then I get this call immediately, and then when I hook up with these guys, it was kind of a 50-50. We knew if this would work or not, because I was a little more aggressive than these guys. But then the first rehearsal, they had a couple of songs already started. We kind of finished them off, and I had one in the back of my head, and we threw that down pretty quick, and we kind of just felt like, wow, this is clicking pretty quick. Within, I'd say, 3 to 4 weeks, we was up at Studio Lounge playing the show with Bent Lucy, and then a month later, we're in the studio recording the first part of those songs, and this is back 92, 93.
Right.
But then all that progressed right through that whole 90s era. With Rip Magazine, articles, 89X homeboy shows, the whole thing that the guy could dream of, trying to, get to the point of making it big, opening bigger, shows and stuff like such. We had, a good following going. And then, by 97, things kind of fizzled out. People get real jobs and doing other stuff, and we was always friends, everything on the back burner, hanging out. Then I got to thinking, before I died, I wanted something, other for my kids to be able to, because my kid's a guitar player. Me and him's got a band going right now. We play all the time, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But anywho, I wanted to, before I died, I wanted all that stuff, at least whatever I could get my hands on that I recorded previously. And I recorded pretty much almost everything I've ever done out at the Lofts with Tim Padlin, where Sponge recorded Rock Pinata.
Right.
So me and Tim Padlin, good buddies and stuff, I got back a hold of him and I said, homie, if I got these reels, man, is there any way we can get these reels down to some digital? Can we get this where my kid can mess with this stuff, so whenever I die, he ain't messing with the set tapes and junk like that?
Right.
Padlin was like, come on out, I got a new idea. He wanted to run them through dehumidifiers, clean them, and put them on the digital at the same time. We was kind of guinea pigs for this, and I think he's going to do this a bunch more times with some other people's stuff. But
Great.
Lo and behold, he drops all this stuff to digital, and there's this. When we finished recording the last EP that we did, in '94, we left 4 songs unfinished out there. And lo and behold, when he dumped them reels, man, there's these 4 songs, right?
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there, and they got no vocals on, but the music's there. You know, it's better than a scratch track. It's a pretty decent take, you know, of the songs. And with a little new magic, you know, they started sounding brilliant. And at the time, my kid was out there helping and stuff, and he was a big part of making this all, you know, come alive. Old Hatcheck, our bass player, Mike Birch, you know, he was still kicking and running around. We was trying to get this all done, so we got all the remaster and but them 4 songs sat there, and we really didn't get them done yet. And then next thing you know, he dies. You know. So, 2 brothers, you know, they're like college professor boys. They're all over the world and stuff. Nick, he still lives here in Michigan, but he's a busy kid. Sean, he lives out in Vermont. He got a couple books under his belt, all this other stuff. He gets with me. He's like, man, we got to get these songs done for Mike, you know. I'm like, yeah, we got to get to it. So he come out last summer. We went up there and mixed a bunch of stuff down and got them set up. And I went in and dropped some new vocals down and we played with it a little bit. And sure enough, man, a couple songs come out there sounding pretty hot, you know. We're messing around out there one day, and there's old boy Steve from Taproot there hanging around. He working on that new Taproot album up there at the law. We do a little morning session, you know, so to say. Go outside of the porch, do a little morning session. We shoot the shit back and forth and talking, and he's like, hey, you know that one song, man, I really like that song, man. You should like let me try some, you know, background vocals on that, man. Put a harmony on it. It would really probably sound cool.
Right.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? You want to go up there and sing out some old guy shit? Sure, go ahead. Make yourself happy, man. Knock yourself out. So sure enough, Steve Richard goes in there and he sings a part on that song, man. And we go back out there and we mix that up, you know. We get out there, man, and that's like hot. You know, it sounded good. We're like, you never featured this song that sound that sweet. Do something with this, man. He's been out there pushing, you know. Yeah. Here we are. It's kind of crazy.
Is that the song called Willing?
Yeah, that Willing song.
Yeah, that is really killer. They're all really killer. Didn't someone else play on that too? Somebody from Sponge or something?
No, actually, all those songs, man, was, like I said, all the music on them tunes, we recorded all that. The music probably in '94. That sat there on reels, man, for like, I don't know, damn near 30 years, man. Yeah. You know.
What was the condition of the reels? Was there any issue with them? Did they have to
remake them? They were great. They were in great shape.
Cool.
And like I said, what was a neat thing is Hadley came up with this technique that he was wanting to try, where he ran the reels through a humidifier and cleaned them.
Right.
So he cleaned them as he was dumping them, and he was like, man, these things was in perfect condition anyhow. He's like, but man, now they clean and it's spotless, and he's like, no, you know.
Yeah.
This thing is dumped, man. It sounded just like, you know, the day you recorded it. It was beautiful.
Was it an 8-track recording? 16? What kind of track?
He had, let's see, at the time, man, I think he had 24 track going out there at the time. When we was out there doing those reels actually came from when we was out there doing that is when he got the phone call that he was getting a deal for Sponge.
Oh, no shit.
I shit you not. We was sitting in the room the day he got the phone call. Matter of fact, when we got 4 songs out of that done as quick as we could, because Kelly Brown wanted us to give her a song. Because we was setting up a Club of Faith show with Heat Miser. You know, and Viet Lucy and all of us was doing these Club of Faith shows back then. And we had one coming up at the Majestic Theater. We had us, Wrestling Poets, and Jason McCauley Barry Kid was on that bill. You know, Viet Lucy, Brian Smith's band, what was their name? Black Molly?
Oh yeah, Black Molly, okay.
Yeah, so those guys was on the bill. So we had like, you know, 5 or 6 bands on this bill. Majestic Theater. Kelly Brown was going to come out. She put us on a Homeboy show for all that. So we was all trying to get these feature recordings of a song in front of the radio, you know, for the Homeboy show. So we went out there and hurried up and got 4 songs done, which we released as Soap 4-song EP. And then in that process, went to the 89X Homeboy show and did an acoustic song. We're going to release that here, I think, in a couple of weeks too. We're going to release this acoustic song of us doing the Forgive Me Waltz on 89X. And today, it just happened, some guy, we was going to release it on the 2nd. We did, also, me and Nick and the bass player, Mike, we went out and did a cover for that Detroit repeat album. Detroit Plays Detroit, that Robin did.
Taking it back.
Yeah.
That was killer. That was really cool.
That one got some dude out there, JC Kick-Ass Rock Show. I think it comes out of Florida. It's a veterans radio station. We just premiered it and played it today.
Yeah, I saw the thing on Facebook about that. That's really cool because that was such an interesting take on that song. Did you guys have to get permission to do that, or did you just do it?
Shit, I just did it. I don't know what happened.
So you never got any flack from the Rockets, Jimmy McCarty, or any of those guys?
I don't know whatever come out of it now that it's out there, but Heat Miser come to me one day and say, "Hey man, why don't you guys go do some damn hillbilly version of a Detroit, song?
Right.
We're gonna put this album together." And I said, "Shit, I'll do a Rockets song."
Yeah, I love the
And
Rockets.
everybody's like, "The Rockets." I'm like, "Hell yeah, I love the Rockets."
Yeah.
That's how we did it. We just went and did it. And shit, hell, I even split a Nugent lick in there, man, so I could get double back for this for all I know.
That's really, really cool. So, Tension Splash, you mentioned the Studio Lounge playing with Bent Lucy and all that. Where else did you guys play around town at those days?
Well, shit, we was primarily an Ann Arbor band. Man.
Okay.
The kids was going to school. Those brothers was going to U of M. We played right there in Ann Arbor a lot. Actually, we pretty well owned Ann Arbor for a minute. We was regulars at the Blind Pig, the Heidelberg. Then we go over to Ipsy, play Cross Street Station. Then we'd head out to Mount Pleasant. We went to Mount Pleasant because those boys had connections out there for some dudes they grew up with in the Crystal Falls of the TV. They were going to Central, so we go out to Mount Pleasant and play this place called Rubbles, man. And it was basically like going somewhere, nobody knew you, never heard of you.
Right.
We'd send posters out there, man. We'd show up, the place would be packed, man.
Oh, cool.
It would be out the wall packed.
Yeah.
And we actually met Workhorse, the Workhorse movement,
Yeah.
those guys. We gave them their first show out there. We wound up, being good friends with them guys. Because, we went out there and picked up an instant following so we could go back out there and headline anytime we wanted to. And bands out there were opening up for us.
Oh, cool.
So we got a big movement going. Then we go to Detroit. We'd hook up, play shows with Bent Lucy where, we could hook up with them and play. Then we'd go into Dayton, Ohio. Played a lot in Dayton, Ohio. Did some Chicago gigging, Toledo gigging.
In Michigan, whatnot. Did you play anything on the east side, like the Ritz, Harpo's, any of those kind of clubs?
Yeah. We did the Ritz. Got in the Harpo's once. Let's see. What was the other place over there?
There was Tracks.
Z-Bar or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played there once, twice. Too. East side was a hard place to hit. It's a little strange to play over to east side. Pretty Ann Arbor at times too. So when we rolled in, sometimes we wasn't quite the hair band or quite to that direction.
Yeah.
We wasn't getting the love.
Well, you definitely had the sound. My God, who's playing guitar in that? Is that you playing, or is that someone else?
I'm like primarily the rhythm guy in the band.
Okay.
I got a handful of solos. The soloist mainly was Nick Field.
Oh, okay.
He's a crazy guitar player because the man is a classical fiddle player as well. Violin,
wow.
He teaches. That's what he teaches. He's a professor of that, and that's what he teaches these days. Classical violin, and the man is, a master at it.
Right.
So when you played some of his solos, it would kind of blow your mind. You'd watch him, man. He'd be running two fingers,
Yeah.
running his index and his middle finger on a lot of his solos, opposed to, the other way when a guy runs, your finger and your ring finger. It was kind of crazy to watch him play. But kid's phenomenal musician.
Yeah, it sounded great.
Sean was the drummer. The kid was just, a hammerhead, just hard drummer. Could never share drums with people because that crazy fat kid be cracking cymbals, you know what I'm saying? So he was kind of hard, on that point. But no, hell of a great drummer. Like I said, when I went over there and met them guys, it was just kind of mind-blowing how it all fell together as quick as it did. And, it gets a mutual agreement on how we wanted to approach songs,
Right.
It wasn't that big of a struggle about it.
Well, that helps.
We throw an idea out, everybody would be all over it. A song would form, and then I would just find some lyrics here in the air somewhere, and away we go.
As far as Tension Splash, is that completely done now, or is that something on the back burner, or is there any hopes of revitalizing that in any way?
Well, technically, the way it looks is, we're spread out. If we wanted to do a show, it would be pretty hard. We'd have to get together for a minute, and we'd have to figure out how to do so. But the thing about it is, we've got a couple more songs that still got to get finished. We still got to drive to see what happens on the other side of this, last little push of, I don't know what we call it, old man stardom or what we got going here. But, this last little push of, something going on. Let's see what happens. We could play it for a minute. Why not? We're having a free good time.
Yeah, go for it if you can. Why not?
Yeah, and at the same time, like I said, I got a regular working band going with my kid. I'm in this little thing called Uncle Laley's Moonshine All-Stars.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to ask you about that. I haven't heard any of the music of that. Is that out somewhere to hear that, or any recordings?
It's on Facebook. We got some YouTube videos and some Facebook videos.
Okay.
It's a 10-year project. It's went through some variable lineups, so you'll see different, type setups when you watch some of these videos. Right now, it's in its most solidest form. My kid's on guitar, his little buddy's on bass. One of my longtime best friends and drummers as well. The guy that was in Lunacy and No Motor Skills with me, Tim Bruno's on drums. Then I got an incredible fiddle player in this band. His name's Ben Colford. This guy used to be in the Celine Fiddlers. taught saloon fiddler, was conductor at saloon schools, and
Wow.
he's a beast on fiddle himself. And then, we primarily a cover band. We go off and just make us, a quick couple of bucks playing covers and have a good time. But
What kind of covers would you do as a fiddle player, that kind of stuff? You talking country, folk, what?
Oh, man, we do it all. We do some Southern fried rock, we do some country, but we mix in there, 80s and some punk rock. We mix in there some hard rock, blues.
That is really cool. I want to check that out. And you say you guys are out playing regularly?
Yeah. We're in a little bit of a lull right now because I got to find me a place with a gig. Summertime's a lot more easier.
Of course.
But we ran all December playing Christmas shows. We booked up Christmas sets and played Christmas sets all through December. We pulled that off this year.
Where was that at?
We did. We actually pulled one off at the Lager House, man. We went down and opened up a hillbilly night fight at the Lager House.
Oh, very cool.
Them and the Beggars. It was a pretty sweet night. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
We're down there dressed in our crazy Christmas costumes, pulled up a bunch of Christmas songs. And they're like, all right, give us one more, but no more Chris. We played them Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh, now see that I could picture with the fiddles. We'll see something like that.
Oh, yeah, he throws it down. Oh, he throws that.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Viet Nam Prom. Yeah, you're in Viet Nam Prom with Rob Miller and the gang and stuff, and it's all improv. And
we had one moment there where we had Eddie in the band, where we sat back and I think we wrote about probably 8 songs, maybe 8.
Okay.
Where we kind of actually sat back and wrote those songs.
Those are the ones on Bandcamp or Reverb Nation?
So.
Yeah, okay. Really killer stuff. But in that group, you were just pretty much the front man, the lead singer, right?
Yeah, I just did all vocals in that. It's pretty hard to get in there and doing the guitar around Robert Miller. That guy's a damn guitar virtuoso. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I sure do. My band played with his old band, Mad Hatter, and I've known Rob since I was 14 years old when he taught the guitarist to my first band. So I've known Ron for a long time. That's why he helps me with the show and hooks me up with different people to talk to. And I've seen so many of the videos of the shows and so many of the antics that you pulled off. Some crazy ass shit that you guys came up with.
It was nuts, man. I missed it like crazy because it was a moment in time where me and him were like, I don't know, we were glued together at the hip and mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I sure do.
And we would get on the phone and we would come up with this crazy ass shit, and it'd be like, there's no way somebody's gonna let us do this, and then we could just go do it. We wouldn't ask. We'd just show up with this shit, set it up, do it.
I know. He was telling me all these stories. You guys were, had all these TV screens and all this stuff on the stage. God. Somebody, you guys were behind a curtain or in some kind of enclosure.
We did. We played the Rip. He gets the gig where he's going at this full book in the Rip.
Yeah.
He booked us, and we're opening for Black and Blue at the Rip.
Oh my God.
And we show up down there, no practice, no nothing. Super B's on the damn bass, and his bass player's on the drums. Black Molly's bass player's on the drums, and they see the shit all breaks, so they got to switch back to the regular instruments because that thing's going wrong. Heat Miser's on the guitar. Yeah. We fall into some groove, and I just seen some crazy shit, man. We get done, and the 15, 20 people that was out there waiting for Black and Blue to come on cheer the shit out of us, tell us how great we are. We're like, what?
Well, it's totally original and stuff, and definitely exciting type of material. I mean, what a craze. Now, as far as the lyrics that you had to make up on the spot, did you ever go into these shows with any preconceived ideas as far as lyrics, or did it just all come to you?
Well, the best time was, like I said, when you really unraveled and we realized what we were doing here and how we could approach it better and do this, was the first time we put Guitar Funk. That was at Alvin down there in Detroit. We go to Alvin, and we got the 51-inch screen TV and a couple of little TVs. And we got a guy put this tarp across the stage, and everybody's gonna watch us on TV. We got a buddy of ours back there walking with a camera filming us. We're back there getting high, doing whatever we want. Everybody's watching us on TV. And Heat Miser comes to me and goes, listen, I don't care what we do tonight. I want you to be like Bob Barr running for president. I'm asking. And I'm like, sure. So off we go. That mindset in my mind, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to say, but we'll start figuring it out. In between, just rambling of that idea and stuff I was worked up about, feeling some Hunter S. Thompson type stuff, and, just blending all kind of craziness in my head and the whole scene that was going on. Before we knew it, 45 minutes went by, and this shit has been recorded, and we go home and listen to it and go, that ain't bad.
I mean, you guys had some crazy shit. You had people out front, blowing smoke and blowing totes of pot and shooting people's faces.
The shit we got people to do, people just came and helped us out. It was amazing. We did this crazy game show, and we played at the Wood and Nickel. I swear to God, it was probably 110 degrees inside there. Everybody's dying. There ain't a lick of AC or a breeze in this place.
Yeah.
We're all in suits. I'm sweating from head to toe. We got some pretty little girl that works at the Guitar Center, dressed up like a Barker's beauty. And she's coming up and hugging on me and touching. I'm like, honey, you got to hug and touch on me. I'm a sweaty ass old man for crying out loud, I'm so bad,
Yeah.
But oh man, the stuff that people would come and do and help us, it was amazing, man. And we ain't done. There's still one more chapter, man. He's been reaching out. My kid's a big part of it now. He calls my kid Tiny Potty Soldier. My kid's about 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I noticed.
Anywho, but he's gonna go down and cover the bass for us and other stuff like this. So some guys have been reaching out. I just got to find me a minute in time here because the Moonshiners plugs up a bit of time.
Yeah.
The Tension Splash thing running around right now has been pulling a little time. Plus I'm still full-time knucklehead at Ford Motor Company. I got about 5 million things tugging at me at all times. Another chapter of the Prom that still got it done.
Are there any live recordings of Tension Splash out there? I don't mean videos necessarily, but audio recordings of you guys?
Well, I don't really. Well, the one that we're about to release is when we recorded live at 89X Studios when we went out there and did that. We're going to release that here in a couple of days. If anybody's got some, I think the Phil boys know a couple of tapes that exist of some people recording us at practices and some big parties that we had.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we got any real actual live recordings. Unless, Robin might have some because he wanted a lot of footage when we played that big Majestic show. So
right.
He might have some.
I'll have to check with him and stuff. Because like I said, the music is very edgy. It's very edgy as far as the tempo, the soloing, the drumming. It all comes together in such a way that it just leaves you like you got to release that energy somehow. How were the shows for that? Were people flipping out over that, or how did that go?
We had pretty good crowds at times. I mean, especially when we went down and he was running a pretty good scene at the old Blind Pig by the time we were done, and at the same time at the Cross Street Station. We'd have packed houses, and they'd all be down there bouncing around, jumping. I wouldn't really call our scene a big ugly mosh pit.
Right.
There'd be a little pushing and scuffling and dancing and shoving, and then when we got some more groovier songs like Cecil and Stella towards the latter days in there, we started putting them songs out. We had some girls down there booty shaking a little bit for us. It was a nice little,
It wasn't dance music though.
Nah, we wasn't dance music, but they could, get down there and knuckle around, move around to it. So, we were like, well, what do you know about that,
Not gonna complain about that, that's for sure.
Yeah. Cecil and Stella's a dance song. Who figured? After all the years, we got one little dance song, Cecil and Stella.
There you go, man. It's great that you're still at it and all that and still doing it and working with your son like that. And, I missed out on seeing the Viet Nam Prom. I was doing other things, my bands and whatnot at the time.
Well, like I said, there might be a video or something coming out soon. I don't know if I can get all those guys out to do it live.
Well, I play trumpet too, and I told Rob, I go, you do a show and shit. I'd love to get, I play bass and keyboards and all that shit too, but I'd love to get out, because I've done a little improv. I have a background in jazz and whatnot, and I'd love to get out there and play some horns in some of those shows, or a show or whatever. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be insane cool, man. That would be insane cool.
Kind of like a Zappa type thing,
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Shit, I might have you come out and do some in the old Moonshiners.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, too. I don't know much country or fiddle stuff, but I can wing it.
We do a wild mixture of music. It'll blow your mind on what we do. We take out a lot of the band. We do some stuff in the band.
Is it any of it original? Do you have any originals?
Well, we do got some originals. Now, me and the kid during the COVID style, we were sitting around bored out of our minds, so we decided just to go ahead and sit down and try to basically steal a handful of country songs and write them. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
And we wrote 2 little country songs, and then we got a little Harmony Brother jam song. We got about 5 originals in our set that we throw around time to time.
Sure.
2 of them, like I said, are pretty much outlaw country-ish, and then the other 2 are a little jammy band type stuff.
Now, I know you said you had a background from your family and all that, fiddle players and all that, but going from something like playing in Lunacy and Tension Splash to doing this, how did you all of a sudden, click that switch and say, okay, I'm going to do this? Because you weren't really incorporating much of that that stuff with those bands. So what made
No.
you all of a sudden change overnight or whatever?
Well, me and the kid, but my son, my daughter, I got kids. My daughter, she's a singer. She likes to, darn around in music.
Mm-hmm.
As she was growing up, I introduced her to all kind of crazy, styles of music. And at that time, I was more when I was leaving the rock and metal scene, I was in my Tommy Waits eras and stuff like such. And then I guess, it's always in my life, man. I had this uncle in my life. He's about 10 years older than me, man. He's passed, but he was, my biker outlaw guy influenced through my life. He's a guy that took me to my first concerts, got me some of my first records and what have you. And through my life with him, he would always let me be in all my own ranges of music, but he'd always bring me back into a realm of, man, you gotta listen to this, man. This is Charlie Daniels. Or you gotta listen to this. This is ZZ Top. Let me introduce you to this. So that was always in my background, that style of music. But when my kid come along, I got this wide collection of records and stuff. And when he got interested in music, I would just pick 3 CDs, dude, and we'll take a ride and we'll go to somewhere and we'll listen to these CDs and we'll talk about them. And he'd pick anything some days from goddamn Robin Trower, Sonic Youth, and Dead Kennedys to next day Allman Brothers, Hank Williams Jr. CD or something I have or something else. We're listening to this stuff, talking to it. And as he started developing in music, I couldn't leave him just sitting there trying to learn one style of music.
Right.
We started listening to everything. And then Sirius XM came into our lives.
Oh, yeah.
Every damn kind of music you can want to listen to, you can program in your little car radio.
Sure.
So we found outlaw country radio stations, fell in love with that. The deep tracks, fell in love with that. So then one day we buy a ukulele for Christmas. We're dinking around playing Prince on it, playing ZZ Top on it, playing 6-7 songs on a Christmas day. So I'm like, shit, let's go buy another one. And before you know it, we're learning a bunch of crazy songs. So we started listening to all these stations and finding the craziest songs out of it possible. That's how we basically launched this band.
Anybody played banjo or anything in that? Is there any banjo playing?
Well, yeah, I've done some banjo playing. I got a 4-string and a 5-string. We've worked up a couple songs where I've used the banjo. I broke the damn 4-string, so we got to get it working again. I was primarily using it because I could actually just use it like a guitar, And there's a ukulele I play now. I play a 6-string ukulele, so it's just like playing guitar.
Plug it in, is it electric or is it all just acoustic?
Oh, we're all it's an acoustic uke, but it's got a Fishman pickup in it,
Oh,
my kid runs through the monster pedal board. The fiddle player runs through a monster pedal board. The drummer plays on one of those little Questlove drum kits, little Ludwig, little miniature kits like designed behind the jazz kits from New York. You guys used to pack up and take in and out of cabs. He plays on that, but we got a full-on giant PA.
Cool.
We're all loaded with audio effects and the hoorahs.
Do you use any effects with the fiddles or the?
Oh yeah, the dude's got a pedal board that's bigger than the kid's guitar pedal board.
Oh, no
Fiddle
shit.
player's pedal board to make you sick. And he's probably got $5,000 in damn pedals in his pedal board. Insane.
Now, did you teach your son to play guitar at a young age, or he pick it up on his own?
Well, he come along, we went through all the little sports phases and stuff in school, I tried to get the hands-on dad, do whatever I could, coach and everything else. And in 6th grade, when he could finally get in band, he came right home and said, my goal is I'm going to be in the drum line. Because the drum line was a rock star,
Right.
So he's like, I'm going to make it in the drum line. Sure as shit, by the time he got in the, freshman year, he was right in the drum line. They moved him right in the drum line, put him in the jazz band because he could do both.
Yeah.
He's dinking around. He was battling some other kid for the jazz band, the drummer spot, full on.
Yeah.
And in the bass, then the mom got him a bass somehow. She won him a bass at a biker raffle somehow. And he gets this bass, and within a couple of days, he taught himself most of the damn chords and notes on the damn bass. I gave him a chord sheet. I said, on here you're going to run the roots. I said, we can get you a bass sheet in a couple of days. And he got to messing with it, figured it out, went to school, and his teacher was like, well, shit, you go ahead and play bass in the jazz band. So he went to play bass in the jazz band.
That's
and he went to a couple solo ensembles and all this stuff, And the next thing you know, he's messing around with the guitars at the house as well. He's teaching himself. And in the Moonshiners, for the longest time, he was our drummer, right? Next thing you know, he comes home one day and he's like, hey, man, I met this is where he met our bass players in our band. Now, I met this guy, he's my buddy from school. He's in this band. I'm going to start playing guitar in this band with you guys. I won't let it get in the way of the Moonshiners. Is that cool? I'm like, well, hell yeah. What you got to do, bud?
Yeah.
So he starts playing guitar in this little punk rock outfit. I go to see this kid, and my God, he shreds. I'm like, what the hell you been doing this behind all that? God, great, man.
That's
So
awesome.
me and my wife, we going to Outlaw Country Cruise
Yeah.
a few years back, right? I'm on the cruise and I'm watching the old 97s and they're up there just throwing down. I looked at my wife, I said, when we get off this boat, I'm going to fire your kid off drum. She's like, you're going to what? I'm going to fire your kid off drum. I'm going to put him on guitar.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how we started the moonshine into the where we're at.
That's awesome, man. That sounds really good. I have to look for some of that stuff and check it out. Well, anyway, man, I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate you taking the time out and talking to me and stuff. And
well, I appreciate it too, brother, man. You know, it's good times to talk about the old days. Like
yeah, I love to do it and stuff. And, when I put this up, of course, we'll be playing some Tensions Blast music. And I'm going to try and work in some of that, the Moonshine All-Star music in there I can find and stuff and fiddle it all in there and get some pictures. Okay, well, there again, thanks for talking to me today. Really appreciate it. This is Jimmy Jive, and I've been talking to Gray Motsinger, originally with Tension Splash, Lunacy, Viet Nam Prom, his newest project, his uncle. What is it again?
Uncle Lenny's Moonshine All-Star.
Yeah, man, some killer stuff there and stuff. Look forward to seeing that. Hopefully this spring, this summer, I'll be gigging out there and come out and check that out. All right, brother. Well, thanks again. I appreciate it, and you have a really good day.
Thank you, man. You as well.
All right, take care. Okay, this is Jimmy Jive, and that was, like I said, that was Gary Motsinger, who had been in Tensions Blast, Lunacy, and of course the legendary Viet Nam Prom. Some really good stuff. If you haven't heard Tensions Blast, check them out on Spotify. They've got some really, really killer stuff. Anyway, like I always say, keep rocking.